Tonight is the Dutton Ranch season finale, and every single person in Rio Paloma is about to find out what the title El Padrino actually costs. Who doesn't make it out of tonight alive? What does Mariano's arrival mean for the characters the show hasn't confirmed are coming back? And what did Beth mean when she said a legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives? Let's break down every life on the line going into tonight's finale, and what it all means for Season 2. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you considered subscribing. We cover every twist in the Yellowstone franchise the moment it airs, so you're never behind on this story. Okay, let's rebuild the entire season in one place. Because tonight's reckoning only lands as hard as it should if you remember exactly how we got here. Beth and Rip didn't choose Texas. They were pushed there. A fire destroyed everything they'd built after Yellowstone, and they arrived in Rio Paloma with their adopted son Carter, and just enough left to buy the Edwards Ranch and start over. That's the foundation the entire season has been built on. People who lost everything once trying to build something that can't be taken again. The first trailer for this show, released back on March 23rd and set to Eminem's Till I Collapse, gave us Beth's first line of the season. A legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives. That line is the thesis of every episode that followed it. The Edwards Ranch herd was wiped out by foot-and-mouth disease traced back to a bull purchased at auction for $10,000. They joined forces with Beulah Jackson, initially their biggest rival, to stay afloat. Rip became a foreman at 10 Pedal. Beth became Beulah's brand partner. And then, piece by piece, the season dismantled the trust that Alliance was built on. Rob Will killed Wes in the series premiere. Chet was killed by Miguel. Beulah collapsed from a heart attack at her own anniversary party. Joaquin tried to use a murder weapon to get his brother arrested and was told the case was dead without a body. Austin confirmed the Jacksons have been running illegal cattle across the Mexican border for years, using forged paperwork, and that the same operation likely put the diseased bull in the auction where Beth and Rip bought him. And then Joaquin picked up a burner phone and called his biological father, Mariano Reyes, asking for help. That's where 8 episodes of setup left us. And tonight is the episode titled The Godfather. Now here's what we actually know is coming, and who has protection going into it. Paramount Plus announced the Season 2 renewal on June 24th, 9 days before this finale, with the full main cast confirmed to return. Kelly Riley, Cole Hauser, Annette Bening, Ed Harris, Finn Little, all confirmed for Season 2, all confirmed for, which tells you something important about tonight. Beth, Rip, Beulah, Everett, and Carter are walking out of El Padrino alive. That's the protection the renewal gives them. But it doesn't protect everyone. Rob Will is not a guaranteed Season 2 character. He's the season's primary villain, and in the Yellowstone franchise, the best villains die in finales. Taste of Country tracked the pattern directly. The Beck brothers, Garrett Randall, Sarah Atwood, the franchise's most memorable villains, have always met their end by the time the credits roll on a season finale. Rob Will has murdered a foreman in the series premiere, triggered the operation that destroyed Beth and Rip's herd, manipulated his own family all season, and told Rip to his face he'd rather die than answer a question about drugs. In a Taylor Sheridan show, that line doesn't stay metaphorical for long. Mariano Reyes is the other wild card tonight. Actor Raul Max Trujillo makes his first on-screen appearance in this finale. He's been hinted at since episode 3. His name is attached to the smuggling operation. His son just called him for help, and the episode is named after him. The Godfather walks into Beulah's office and tells her to send the strangers packing or he'll do it himself. If Mariano is arriving as the season's hidden architect, the question isn't whether he's dangerous. It's whether tonight is the episode he's introduced as a threat that carries into Season 2, or the episode where the Dutton side eliminates him before he can become the next season's villain. Those are 2 very different kinds of finales. The trailer shows Rip, Azul, and Zachariah adding bodies to the same mineshaft the show has been using as its version of a train station all season. Multiple weapons in Dutton hands. Beth and Everett and Rip all firing in the finale's closing footage. A group of masked men approaching the Dutton property at night. And Carter notably nowhere near any of it. He's still at Wade's office, separated from the protection that comes with standing inside the Dutton circle. If Mariano's men move on the ranch tonight and Carter is anywhere near the crossfire without Rip or Beth, between him and whoever's coming through that door, he's the most exposed person in this finale. Even with a Season 2 confirmation protecting him as a character, what happens to him tonight before the credits roll is still completely open. Here's the rehook, because the title of tonight's episode is doing more work than most people have noticed. El Padrino means the Godfather. In organized crime language, the Godfather isn't just the most powerful person in the room. He's the one who decides who lives and who dies in the organization beneath him. If that title belongs to Mariano tonight, then everyone under him, Rob Will, the men running the operation, anyone who's been taking a cut, is only as safe as Mariano decides they are. And if the Duttons have spent all season unknowingly working inside an operation Mariano controls, the moment he walks into Beulah's office and issues an ultimatum isn't the start of the war. It's the end of a war they didn't know they were already in. So here's exactly when we find out. Dutton Ranch Season 1, Episode 9, El Padrino, premieres tonight at 3:01 a.m. Eastern on Paramount Plus, and at 8 p.m. Eastern on Paramount Network. This is the finale of the biggest original series debut in Paramount Plus history, with 12.9 million global views in its first 7 days. That number surpassed the previous Paramount Plus record of 8 million views, set by The Madison. On cable, the show drew 2.9 million viewers on premiere night alone, making it the biggest new cable series premiere since 2023. It holds an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Eminem's "Till I Collapse," the track set against the very first trailer released back in March, hit a new all-time peak of number 3 on Billboard's Rap Digital Song Sales chart and held it for 3 consecutive weeks over 2 decades after its original release. This is the 5th television series in the Yellowstone franchise, and it's ending its first season tonight with the godfather of an illegal smuggling empire walking into the room where Beth and Rip have been working all season. Season 2 is coming in mid to late 2027. Whatever tonight doesn't settle carries forward with the full main cast. Whatever tonight does settle is permanent, so tell me what you think. Does Rob Will die tonight, or does Mariano make an example of someone else entirely? And does Carter walk back through the Dutton door before this episode ends? Or does he stay away long enough to miss the one fight he should have been there for? Drop your predictions in the comments right now before the finale drops. And if you want the full breakdown the moment it airs, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.